Hello, I am Moonstone and welcome to my Toon Talk. This is the fifth and final part of my deep dive into Shera. This is part 5 where I talk about season 5. So, Adora is having weird, strange dreams. Yeah, we open on Adora who's having these very weird and strange dreams. And also, a small camp of people are living under a magic bubble to protect them from the Horde Prime who showed up at the end of season 4. The magic bubble is kind of like a disguise thing so Horde Prime can't see them. Entrapta is back, and King Micah, or Micah, I forgot how it was pronounced. It looks like Mike, like a microphone with an A, so Micah. Anyway, him and Shadow Weaver are begrudgingly working together to find a way into space to save Glimmer. Why she doesn't just teleport back, I don't know. I guess it's too far. It's never quite explained why. Catra is trying to convince Horde Prime she's necessary and that he needs her because once, so Horde Prime is obsessed with, like, perfecting and controlling everything, and once Catra's no longer used to him, he's just gonna toss her aside, and Catra knows this, is kind of panicking over it. Scorpia finds and catches a clone for interrogation. The clone is not useful. Also, if you don't remember, Scorpia is now on the side of the rebellion with the other princesses. One night, Adora is having one... Why does it keep doing that? One night, Adora is having one of her little lucid dream type things, and a light shines in her face, and she goes to check it out, and it's a Shera ghost, and she follows the Shera ghost, and then ends up discovering that it's their dream, that it's not real. Adora's having a very hard time coping, obviously, with the fact that she can't turn into Shera without the sword. If you remember from season 4, at the very end, the sword is broken, and now Adora can't transform into Shera anymore. Eventually, Horde Prime comes and everyone needs to evacuate. Meanwhile, on the Horde Prime ship, Catra finds Hordak, the one that we know, and she finds Glimmer in one of, like, the little cells, and her and Glimmer actually start bonding. Also, Catra finds a teleporter or warp pad. I forgot what they were called, but just keep that in your brain. It's going to be useful later on. We learn how messed up Horde Prime is, obsessed with creating perfect clones and purifying planets. Like I said, he's obsessed with perfection and control. And Catra knows that Adora is coming. Adora's already made plans to go and get on Mara's ship and to save Glimmer. She's actually on her way right now. And Catra knows once Adora gets here, Horde Prime's already set up a trap for her to capture her and then trigger the Heart of Etheria. And once that happens, Catra will be deemed as useless and disposed of. So Catra right now has two options. Let Adora come, get captured, and be deemed useless, and Heart of Etheria be deemed as useless and discarded, or help Adora. Obviously, she picks the second option, and she tries to set the warp pad to teleport Glimmer. She helps Glimmer escape and tries to get the warp pad to send Glimmer into the ship, but the ship's too far away and ends up sending her in the middle of space, just floating there. And then Adora has to drive Amara's ship to Glimmer, and they bring her into the ship. But Catra isn't ready to forgive herself for everything she's done, or to even see Adora and face what she's done. So she ends up staying behind as she lets Glimmer escape. Adora and friends rescue Glimmer from space. I think it's Entrapta, Adora, and Bo are all in Mara's ship right now. The other princesses are. We'll cut to them later. Glimmer apologizes to Adora for trusting Light Hope and activating the Heart of Etheria and sending the whole world into chaos. And they end up going to a small planet to refuel, I think it was. They need to get some crystals, and they meet the Star siblings, Jewel Star, Tall Star, and Starla. They find the crystals they need, but the planet is falling apart. The planet is falling apart, and they can't leave without the crystal. Adora has like a little Shera's not the sword, Shera is in you moment, and kind of saves everyone from the collapsing planet, because they're in a cave right now trying to get the crystals, and the cave's starting to collapse. So she has her little Shera moment and saves everyone. The Star siblings, because Adora just saved them, agree to help, except this is the only time you see them. Like, they agree to help, and then you just never see them ever again. So, did the writers forget to add them in, or what happened? What happened? Because they don't get on Mara's ship. They're just like, we'll agree to help you, and then everyone just leaves them on the Crystal Planet. So, where'd they go? Adora makes the decision to go save Catra. Adora makes the decision to go save Catra. She lets one of the Horde clones capture her. Bo and Glimmer, who are now on Horde Prime ship, they snuck in. Adora allowed herself to be captured, so she's on the Horde Prime ship, and so is Bo and Glimmer. And Entrapta too, almost forgot. Bo and Glimmer find a clone that's somehow disconnected from the hive mind, so he's alone in his head with his own thoughts and not everybody else's, and he's kind of having a little bit of a crisis about it. Yeah, he's having a bit of a crisis over it. Adora found that Catra went through the purification process and is now a Horde Prime member, and has like a little mind control device in the back of her neck, connecting her to the hive mind. Adora tries to break the mind control device on Catra. It breaks a bit. I think it cracks, but that's it. But Horde Prime like self-destructs it, which like hurts Catra. So it's still in her neck. It's just cracked, and then Horde Prime tries to self-destruct it, which hurts her, and this pushes Adora over the edge, and she turns into Shera without the sword, with a new look, so you know she's more powerfuler than ever, and they all escape. Back on the ship, Entrapta named the ship Darla. So I might say Darla instead of Mara's ship or the ship, so yeah. Darla's the ship. Everyone is now on the ship. Adora and Catra are now on the same side. One of the clones finds some First One's tech and then remembers Entrapta, because that's Hordak. That's not one of the Horde clones. That is our Hordak that we were with from Season 1 to now. Catra and Adora have a little scuffle about how people can't change that fast. Horde Prime tracks Mara's ship with the mind control device still in Catra's neck. Even though it's cracked, they can still track. Catra tries to use the mind hive to see what's happening. She sees the citizens of Eternia are being all mind controlled with the same mind control device that's in the back of her. Shera takes care of the Prime ships while Entrapta tries to remove the device off of Catra so they can no longer be tracked. Catra is able... Entrapta removes the device off of Catra. Catra finally apologizes for everything she's done. Remembers... Oh yeah. Catra finally apologizes for everything she's done, and then we finally cut back to what's going on in Eternia. Remember Spinnerella and Tossa? Well, Spinderella has one of those mind control devices in the back of her neck. Tossa figures it out, but not before almost everyone else in the rebellion gets one too. Okay. Gets one too. The crisis. Oh yes. Okay, sorry. My paragraphs are all like glitched up and out of order, so I have to read a little bit ahead. The clone that Scorpia captured, that one. He ends up saying that Horde Prime's weakness is a place called Sirichus. Yes, Sirichus. I think that's how it's pronounced. Anyway, they go there. Everyone on Darla's ship goes there, and that place is weird. That place it's weird. Anyway, so Team Darla, everyone on Darla's ship, plus the clone, I think. Does the clone get off the ship? I know he's on it because that's when he told the weakness. I don't know if he gets off it with the team, but anyway. It turns out the reason why Horde Prime hates this place, hates this planet, is because it is the only planet he had to retreat from. Also, there's this thing. The Team Darla is being followed by a thing that can copy voices and make illusions. Catra befriends this thing who takes the form of a lion, I guess, and because Catra's a cat, they can understand each other and speak cat. Like I said, very weird. So this illusion making lion tells the friends their planet used to be like Etheria. The first ones tried taking their magic, and Horde Prime doesn't understand magic. They realize Horde Prime's weakness is magic. Illusion Lion uses their magic to hide this ship and sneak past Horde Prime. So now Catra has a pet lion who's on the side of the rebellion who can make illusions and copy voices, and like I said, very weird. They find the few princesses who aren't in Horde Prime's control. Yeah, they all go back to Eternia, everyone on Darla's ship plus Illusion Lion. They find the princesses who aren't in Horde Prime's control. They all sneak into the Fright Zone to find a way to stop the controlled princesses. But Horde Prime is already there. Bow and Glimmer. Yeah. Bow and Glimmer finds Bow's dads, who found another constellation map that and read it. Turns out Mara was working for the rebels for a Turns out Mara was working for the rebels, and there's a failsafe to the heart of Etheria. Natasa breaks Spinderella's control device on her. Shadow Weaver says the failsafe is in Mysticore, and Trapta discovers the control chip says on... Yeah. And Trapta discovers that if the mind control device stays on someone too long, that the mind control device becomes one with that person, meaning she won't be able to remove it like she did with Entrapta's. The Mysticore mission didn't go too well. Adora is now having trouble turning into Shera. Entrapta gets... Yeah, Entrapta gets caught trying to hack into the hive mind. Luckily, the clone that finds her is Hordak, who remembers a little bit of Entrapta. Some of his memories are there, but a lot of them are still gone because he's been in the hive mind for so long. And he's a little conflicted now. They find the failsafe, and they have to bond the failsafe. Yeah, and not Entrapta. Adora has to bond with the failsafe so it can be carried to the heart of Etheria. Catra gets suspicious. Yeah, Catra gets suspicious of Shadow Weaver because Shadow Weaver says Shera is the only one strong enough to bond with the failsafe and handle that much pure raw magic. Because remember, only Shera can handle pure raw magic. Adora steps into the failsafe, taking all that raw magic into her body. Shera is back with the failsafe in hand, or more like in chest, because it actually makes like a heart-shaped glowing on her chest, and you can see it. Catra is now worried about losing Adora is now afraid of losing Adora. Yeah, she's now worried about losing Adora since she did just see Adora risk her life for Catra. Catra goes off on her own, has a little argument with Illusion Lion about if Adora really cares for her. Entrapta tries to get into the hive mind again. Adora makes it to the heart of Etheria that is still projecting memories, seeing Catra, who's still projecting memories. Remember the memory room from season 1 or 2, I think. Anyway, it's still projecting memories, and Adora seeing Catra, projecting memories, seeing Catra, Adora thinks about what she's doing. She starts thinking about what she's doing, maybe a little overthinking, making the Shera form a little unstable. And we then cut back to Horde Prime. Horde Prime is working on a machine to use for the heart. Catra finds out and goes to Adora to tell her. Meanwhile, Adora is becoming emotionally unstable and is starting to lose the heart. Yeah, she's becoming emotionally unstable and kind of becoming unstable with all that raw magic. So has a hard time with the raw magic. I'm having a hard time describing it into words, so I hope I'm making sense. She ends up leaving Bo and Glimmer behind so she can complete her mission and save everyone without hurting them. Entrapta gets teleported away and can't free the control devices. Catra ends up going to Shadow Weaver to find Adora. She ends up where Bo and Glimmer are, and all try to find Shera, but right before Shera can stop the heart of Etheria, Horde Prime appears. Bo and Glimmer, Bo tries to finish what Entrapta has started, but Scorpia shows up, and Scorpia is under the mind control device. Horde Prime, and then it turns out the Horde Prime that was with Shera in the heart of Etheria, waiting for her, turns out to be a hologram. Horde Prime that was with Shera is a hologram, but Horde Prime did find a monster he thinks will Shera. But Shadow Weaver and Catra show up just in time to distract the monster while Adora gets into the heart of Etheria. Bo finishes what Entrapta started. Bo creates a hologram of himself to talk to everyone on Etheria and tell them how they can beat Horde Prime together, all wild style from the Lego movie style, hologrammed everywhere, everyone can see, and gives that little, if you just believe in yourself, you can beat Horde Prime speech. Shera turns back into Adora, knowing Catra is in trouble, leaving Shadow Weaver with the heart, but without the raw magic. Take the raw magic with her. Shadow Weaver sacrifices herself to save Catra and Adora from the monster. Very sad. Adora once again is having Shera troubles, but is still willing to use the failsafe, but without Shera, but in her regular form and not in her Shera form. Which she can do that. She can use the failsafe because the raw magic is inside her body. It's just that if she is in her regular Adora form and she goes to the heart of Etheria, it will destroy her. It will destroy her body. If she was in Shera, then I guess it wouldn't. But she can't turn into Shera right now. She's having trouble. Prime reaches the heart along with Hordak and Entrapta. Hordak was told to Entrapta, but before he did, he got all of his memories of Entrapta back, so Hordak turns the blast on his own. Turns the blast onto his own, on Prime, betraying him, on his own kind, on Prime. But Hordak is still a part of the hive mind. Hordak is still a part of the hive, part of the mind hive, still a part of the mind hive and takes Prime's place and starts tearing up the planet. So because Hordak is still connected to the hive mind, Horde Prime, the leader of the Horde clones, can take control over him, and Hordak ends up tearing apart the planet himself because Horde Prime is controlling him. Adora starts to give up, but Catra is there to call her back, and oh my god, the kiss I've heard so much about, the reason why I started watching it. The whole reason why I ever heard about Shera was because of the kiss. Panic. Dora and Shera kiss now that Adora is in full hope because she got kissed. She can reconnect to Shera and use the failsafe, and it works, and everyone is saved. Shera takes down Horde Prime ships, giving life back to the planet. She reaches into Hordak's mind, chasing out Prime. Now, all the clones are free. All the clones are people of their own. They're free of the hive mind. They can't read each other's thoughts. They can now have their own thoughts with their own personalities and their own hobbies, and they're normal people now. They're not connected to each other anymore. And that's the end. I seriously enjoyed Shera so much. I think this is like my third time rewatching it because it's so good. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye.